I like getting to hear your opinions. At any rate, I've finished writing the chapter. I'll go make some tea, so would you mind reading it again and sharing your thoughts with me? Saying this with a smile, Ikuko thrust a pile of manuscript papers at me. I'm convinced that whether you read detective novels or write them, they're boring if you're all on your own. You can only find something really precious when you share that world with someone else. Headache. Toya? Are you okay? I'll go get some headache medicine. I'm fine. I'm more interested in this manuscript. I can't wait for the new chapter. The seasons passed, together with Ikuko. In this town, whose name I didn't even know, we spent our days debating detective novels and talking about ideas for new plots. At a glance, they may have appeared to be stale and unproductive days. However, Hachijo Toya found satisfaction with his new life. And so the curtain closes on the strange tale of Kurokubi Island. The end. With a dramatic flourish of her pen, Ikuko signified that her manuscript was now complete. What do you think? I tried using your plot to make Sujiko's tragic love scene at the end a bit more moving. I think it's very good. I'd say The Last Farewell is sad enough to make it moving as a story, not just a reasoning puzzle. That's all thanks to your plot. Compared to this work, everything I've written before now is worth a little more than scrap paper. Even as I was writing it, I was excited to be the first person in the world who got to read it. I've never felt that before. I just mentioned some ideas. You're the one who turned them into such a fascinating story, Ikuko-san. At some point she wrote me in as well, and I too started my journey in the world of writing detective novels. Apparently the old me had some talent for mysteries and detective novels and the like, and my talents seemed to be of a fairly unorthodox kind. I tried turning famous mysteries from across the world on their head, twisting those ideas into something new. However, a few ideas aren't enough to make a book. No meal is complete if all you can do is chop up vegetables. Thanks to Kuko's writing skill, a skill she had built up over many years, my ideas were transformed into a work of fiction. In this work, The Strange Tale of Kurokubi Island, the two of us merged the best of our respective personalities. And though I hate to brag, it had turned into a masterpiece that we could show to anyone without shame. Hello? Please bring us some champagne. Bring a glass for yourself as well. This is the best job we've done so far, so let's celebrate. Ikuko called for some champagne over the internal phone line. Joined by the servant who happened to be working that day, and the cat Burn, we raised our glasses high and toasted our accomplishment. Ikuko-san, I have an idea if you don't mind. Let's hear it. I love hearing your ideas as long as I'm not in the shower or on the can. Why don't we try submitting our book? I've never read anything this interesting before. I'm sure lots of other people will want to read it. You think so? I tried once in the past thinking the same thing, but the result was, I believe in your talent, Ikuko-san. What about you? Of course I believe in your talent. Then it's decided. To Ikuko-san's big debut. To Toya's big debut. We clinked our glasses once more, and on it went. We must have had way too much to drink. Before I knew it, I must have passed out on the sofa. There was a blanket covering me. Kuko-san must have put it there. The lights were out in the study, but it wasn't dark. The computer's monitor was glowing. Outside it had started to rain. It reminded me of the day Kuko-san found me and took me in. Because of that, whenever it rains, I found myself wondering who I was, and I usually get headaches, so I wasn't sure whether the pain was because of the rain or because I drank too much. Kuko-san, turn on the lights. Using a computer in the dark is bad for your eyes. Oh, did I wake you up? No, I slept well. I feel refreshed now. I turned on the lights and looked out through a gap in the curtains. As I'd thought, it was the sort of pouring rain that always reminded me of that day. It's raining pretty hard out there. The wind looks pretty strong, too. I hope the rain gutters don't get clogged with leaves again. I just cleaned them the other day, so they should be fine for a while. Her answer sounded a little abstracted. Apparently her attention was absorbed by the computer. You've been pretty hooked by that computer lately, Ikuko-san. Did you find an interesting article or something? It may be a bit juvenile, but it's still pretty interesting. It's about that Rokkenjima incident. Rokkenjima? I told you about the Rokkenjima mystery a few days ago, remember? It's been really huge on the net lately. The discussions, theories, and even the forgeries have been quite entertaining. Forgeries are stories all based on the premise that yet another message bottle signed by Ushiromiya Maria existed and drifted to one of the nearby islands. Ikuko kept showing off her knowledge of the subject. However, a huge bell was clanging inside my head. The noise was so great that I thought my head would split open. Unable to tell what was the floor and what was the ceiling, I crumpled and clutched at my head. Toya? Are you okay? My head hurts. The Rokkenjima explosion accident, the many disquieting rumors surrounding it, the scheming of the relatives who were after Ushiromiya Kenzo's vast wealth and the hidden gold, and the truth. Ushiromiya Eva, the sole survivor, said nothing. Eventually, everything would be inherited by the granddaughter, Ushiromiya Ange, who escaped harm because she was absent on that day. Ange. Ushiromiya Ange? I am Ushiromiya. Gya! No good, my head's getting split open. Incomprehensible scenes pierced my eyelids from the inside like blades of light. Just what am I looking at? Who are these people calling to me, but not by the name of Toya? Who am I? Who are these people? What is this memory? Help me, Okuko. Someone else's memory is hurting me. My head's splitting. I could hear the sorrowful sound of the wind, and that must be rain. Who was I again? I am Ushiromiya. Ange, please say something. Voices calling me. Dad? And Mom? It can't be. In 1986 on Rockin'Jima, Mom and Dad. Angie, hang in there. Can you hear Daddy's voice? Please, say something, Angie. Dad? Mom? I'll say it out loud. Dad, Mom, Angie. Angie, thank goodness. I could feel my body being lifted up firmly and hugged roughly. Mom and Dad were hugging me? My eyelids have been open for a while now. I could feel the light slowly returning to my eyes. Just like your eyes get used to the dark, my eyes got used to the light, and bit by bit, the scene around me came into view. However, it was an unusual sight which seemed to be very far away. My body was being hugged by Dad and Mom. Dad was sniffling, his face covered with tears. There were tears in Mom's eyes, too, as she held me tight. It was so strong that it hurt a bit. They held me with all their strength. Me, the bad kid who wasn't obedient, who always had an excuse, and who always tried to do the opposite of what our parents said. They held me tight to make sure I didn't head down the wrong path. As my eyes adjusted, I could see other people besides my parents. Everyone was there. George Oni-chan, Jessica Oni-chan, Maria Oni-chan, my uncles and aunts, even Sakutaru. And there was the witch Virgilia, and Renove, and... Where? You were fortunate. By chance, we found you drifting in the waves of the sea of emptiness. You were in a terrible state. It took quite some time to make you remember your true form. Beatrice. So this is... the Golden Land. Your whole family has been waiting here for you to return. We knew you would come home. Did I come home because I was supposed to? I've gone back to how I'm supposed to be, and now... No, you did come home. That's right. You made it back here because you wanted to come home to us. Dad? Mom?